Coming up on today's show, we have 2 recipes that are sure to please any breakfast table. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Rhonda Fitterer.
And I'm Laverne Dede.
And we have a couple of breakfast recipes here that you found that are really quite interesting.
They are.
I think these are going to be excellent. We have a sausage quiche, which we got our sausage from our very own sponsor, the Workshop.
Yes, we did.
So check that out when you're ready to make this recipe. To get these recipes, you can always go to our website or just quick jot them down as I'm telling you the ingredients. For the sausage quiche, you're going to need an unbaked pie shell, 1.5 cups shredded cheese, and that could be any type that you want, a half pound of brown sausage, half package thawed spinach, make sure you drain it well, half cup of herb stuffing mix, 1.5 cups, half and half, and 3 eggs. So that's gonna be pretty easy.
It's simple, it is.
Yeah, and that's gonna be good too. And the next one we have a blueberry baked oatmeal. So this is gonna be a little bit on the healthy side.
It is.
So
there's not even any flour in that. So for people that are gluten intolerant,
this is the way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for this recipe, the ingredients that you're gonna need are 2 eggs, half cup of applesauce, a 1/3 cup of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons cinnamon, a half teaspoon salt, 2 teaspoons baking powder, 3 cups oatmeal, a cup each of milk, and fresh or frozen blueberries. So pretty easy.
It is. Not too bad.
All right, well, where are we gonna get started today?
Well, we're going to do the quiche first. 'Cause,
Okay.
We want to get that. We put our oven to 375. That's what the quiche is going to bake at
Okay.
For, I believe, 45 minutes.
All right.
And stuff. So it's really pretty simple. We're going to put the cheese in here first. Let's put our pan on to brown the sausage.
Okay.
To get that going.
Start over at the oven.
Yes. Let's do that and get that going. And like you said, we got this from the Workshop. You know, just their pork sausage.
Okay.
So, you know, and that's one of the best sausages too that you want. And you want the bulk that you can chop it up and brown it because you want that in little pieces. So
Okay.
So while that's going to heat up and brown a little, we're going to just come back over here and let that get warm. It says 1.5 cups of cheese, any type cheese.
Okay.
I had some mild cheddar cheese in the refrigerator, and then I had some pepper jack cheese.
Okay.
So I mixed the two together. We like things a little with
So a little bit
zing.
on the spicier side.
Yep, and that so.
There's nothing to say that you have to use one kind.
That absolutely, and it says any kind. So mix your cheeses and all that.
Now, did you make your own pie crust or did you buy one?
Okay, this is one of my homemade crusts. I had when I made pie crust a while back, and I had some left over. I will freeze my pie crust because I usually make, you know, a big recipe, and you freeze it into the size what you need. Sure saves a lot of time next time you need a pie crust.
Just take it out on thawed and press it in.
That's right.
All right.
And stuff, and it's cheaper than, you know, buying.
Okay.
And now we're going to add 3 eggs into this here. And we're going to just whip those eggs up and then add our 1.5 cups, half and half.
Okay.
So like I said, we're starting with 3 eggs. And you know, because we're going to be using, you know, the cheese has the salt, the sausage has seasonings, we're not adding any extra pepper and salt.
Okay.
And again, if you want more, you can add it at the time you're serving it.
Yes.
You know, they can do that. So, okay, now I'm going to do the 1.5 cups of half and half.
Okay.
Which I didn't go by half and half. I had whipping cream. I added about a cup of whipping cream and added the cup of heavy whipping cream and then half a cup of milk.
Okay.
So if you don't have the half and half, you can make your own. There's no need to, you know,
as long
buy.
as you have those 2 ingredients.
Right, you can always improvise. Okay, so that's there. Now let's just go back over here and start chopping up our sausage here.
Yep, it's sizzling good.
Yep.
And with just a ½ pound, that doesn't take long to brown.
It's not going to. And our pie plate is, they say, a 9 to 10 inch. It says a 9-inch pie plate, but I like to have a little bit more room, so I actually use a 10-inch pie plate and stuff. So, until you add all your ingredients and stuff, you want to make sure that it has room because it's going to bubble up a little bit.
And to prevent it from overflowing in your oven.
That's right. Okay. So then we're going to just put this on top of the cheese here.
All right. Gonna start that cheese a melting right away.
Yeah. Okay, then we'll just spread that out. And, you know, if you happen to have a little bit more than a ½ pound or whatever, you know, I would just go ahead and use it. Don't set it aside.
A full pound might be a bit much, though.
I think so, a pound, because this is right at, I mean, I did take the ½ pound.
Okay.
Whatever, so I'm going to set that back over there. And now the next thing is we're going to add our spinach.
Okay.
And if this is frozen spinach, and you know, it says frozen, but I sure would think if this time of year people that have fresh spinach in their garden,
Sure.
you know, definitely, because you do want to well drain it. It says a ½ a package of frozen, and that's 10 ounces. So I just cut that spinach in half, so I didn't, you know, unthaw it all and stuff, and then just let it drain. And right towards the end, when, you know, I just took my hand and I just squeezed a little bit to make sure I got all the juice out. You want to have it pretty well drained. Just spread that over the top.
Okay.
And then you were going to use a ½ a cup of seasoned herbs dressing or whatever.
Okay.
And you can use just about anything. You could take your stovetop.
Yeah, whatever
dressing
you
and
might
just-
have on hand.
That's right, and it says a ½ a cup, and just spread that over.
Smell the spices in those.
Yeah, and see, again, you know, like with the sausage and the seasoned stuffing mix, you know, you're getting plenty of seasonings. And we'll just blend that up a little bit more here. Okay, and we're just slowly going to pour that over the top.
Now this isn't, you know, like we've had some of our breakfast base that we made that you have to refrigerate this for X amount of time before we would pop it in the oven. We can just go ahead and pop this right on in.
That's right. You just go ahead and make it and pop it in the oven. There's no, you know, nothing that you have to refrigerate or anything for.
Okay.
So,
And this might be a crazy question, but why are we not having to bake the pie crust before we bake this part?
because we're putting it in the oven and we're going to bake it for 45 minutes. So your pie crust is going to bake.
Okay.
And that it's not like, you know, you're kneading a baked pie shell and then you you put your ingredients in that you're not baking again. This you're all baking. So let's put that in the oven.
Crazy question.
And it looks good, doesn't it?
It
looks
does.
nice.
Very colorful.
And there, and it says 45 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And now we're going to come back over here and we can start our blueberry baked oatmeal.
All right. And this doesn't, I mean, the oatmeal is our crust, correct? I mean, we don't have a crust.
Well, we actually are going to put all the ingredients together.
Okay.
We don't make a crust first.
All right.
So it's just there. So this here, we just had our eggs and cream in here. So we're just going to go ahead and use the same bowl.
Okay.
And we start out with 2 eggs.
And we got some farm fresh eggs here.
Absolutely. You know, I know everybody isn't so fortunate to have somebody that they can get farm fresh eggs from, but once you get used to it, it's pretty hard to buy those in the grocery store.
Yep.
And we'll just whisk that up. And then we're going to put in our 1/2 cup of applesauce.
Okay. And like you were saying earlier, this is a gluten-free recipe. So for some of our viewers this might be of interest or they need something like this.
It is.
This would be a good one to try.
It's kind of nice to come across something like that for our viewers.
Sure.
So now we added a 1/2 cup applesauce, and we're going to add a 1/3 cup of brown sugar.
Okay.
And I'll just break that up a little bit. And then it says a tablespoon of vanilla extract.
Okay.
That's actually a teaspoon.
All right.
So we'll just
You know what you're doing.
squeeze that in there. So that's a full tablespoon. And
Okay.
it's something that doesn't really need to be measured, and vanilla is always good. You can always just smell the vanilla too.
Oh,
can't you?
absolutely. It's
So
good stuff.
we're just going to mix that till smooth here. And now we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
And 2 teaspoons of baking powder.
Okay.
And that, we have that, so
You just have to make sure you get those correct because I've messed those up.
it makes a big difference in how your recipe turns out. They're both white. Why wouldn't they turn out the same, huh? But they don't. Okay, and then it asks for 2 teaspoons of cinnamon.
Okay.
And oatmeal and cinnamon is always, but a lot of people that just like oatmeal in the morning put cinnamon on there, and it's
Sure.
really good. Cinnamon and brown sugar.
Yeah, just cut up a little bit of apple in there and put a little bit of
Yep.
cinnamon in. It's just like having an apple pie.
It is. And so good for you. So now we did that. And let's just get that blended here.
Oofy, you can smell the cinnamon.
Took over the vanilla smell, huh?
It did. It smells great.
Yeah. So then we're going to add 1 cup of milk.
Okay.
So let's put the milk in there. And blend that a little bit more.
So
And-
most of these ingredients, probably outside of the blueberries, which are seasonal or can get quite expensive at some times of the year, probably the only thing you might not already have in your
Absolutely.
kitchen.
And you can use fresh or the frozen blueberries. This time of year, they've had some wonderful sales on the blueberries. Buy them, freeze them, and
Yeah.
then you can have that. So it's 3 cups of oatmeal. So I already
Okay.
got that measured out. And we just need to blend that up, and then we'll fold our blueberries in there.
Okay.
And it says a cup of blueberries. Hey,
You got about a cup and a half.
yeah, be a little generous.
Yeah.
Because they're, that just going to be so much better. It's like anything you make, rhubarb or whatever. You got a little bit, use it. It's really good. So nice looking blueberries. They're huge. So we're going to blend that in, and then this is going to bake for, it says 28 to 34 minutes. So it's going to depend upon your oven. So we'll put it in and we'll check it at, so we got 40 minutes with our quiche yet, so that hasn't been going too long. So what we will do is we will put that in and just watch our time, because I do want this to set a little bit to
Sure.
cut it, before we actually, show it. So.
Sure.
And there's not too many times that you have something like this that you're not using flour for. So,
Yes.
I said this will be great for our viewers. And it's just more and more how many people you hear that are gluten intolerant.
I just think with today's, just how we live today, where we eat so many processed foods and we're going out to eat at restaurants more, that some of those things might be just our lifestyle.
It is so. And, our liquids already is being really pretty much absorbed with the oatmeal. But when you're looking in here and you see all those delicious blueberries, that's why I say, hey, be a little on the generous side if you have them.
Yep.
And that just makes it that much better.
Perfect.
So let's go ahead and put this in the oven. And you know what I'm going to do is there's, that 40 minutes here. I'm going to actually cancel that, and I'm going to just put 30 minutes on. Whoop. I got about 30 minutes, not 3 minutes here. And this way we will be able to take that out and let the quiche go for another 10 minutes or so.
Sounds great.
The buzzer has gone off for our blueberry oatmeal bake.
Okay.
And let's take that out. And let's quickly put a little bit more time on the quiche too. So.
Sure.
Okay.
That smells so good.
Doesn't that look good? Okay, another trick to this here is when you take it out and it doesn't jiggle in the center, you know that it's done. I had used, it says 28 to, I believe it's 34 minutes. I did the 30, and that is plenty. So
Okay.
we're gonna just set that over here and let that just cool off a little bit so that when our quiche is done, we can serve both of them together.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
great.
Yeah, doesn't that look wonderful?
Yes. Smells
Okay.
wonderful.
Yes. Okay. The buzzer now is going off for the quiche, so let's check that. And we'll open that and see how that
that's
is.
puffed up nice.
It is. So we're going to take that out, and we'll just bring it over here, and let's just kind of check that with a knife and see how that, yes. Oh, that is definitely baked nice and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it looks very eye appealing, doesn't it?
Oh, it's pretty.
With the sausage and the spinach in there and our stuffing mix and that. And also, with my homemade crust, I mean, it's nice and brown, and I know definitely use a glass pie plate.
Okay.
Because your bottom will always brown so much better than
A metal
a metal one.
Okay.
And that,
Good tip.
and when you're storing food too, it's definitely better storing in a glass than a metal one. So.
Okay.
And you had a little information that you learned about our blueberry oatmeal bake.
Yeah, some of the things, this is very healthy.
Yes.
As it is. But if you even wanted to lighten it up a little bit more, you certainly can use a fat-free, or not fat-free, but just a fat-free vanilla yogurt, or plain yogurt, I should say, plain yogurt. And instead of the brown sugar, you can use maple syrup.
Yeah. And the yogurt you're substituting for applesauce.
For applesauce,
Which
which was probably originally oil.
yes, applesauce has been one of the things that they have been using for substituting oil and that, making it a lot healthier. So, okay, let's just go ahead, and I think we can cut a little bit of this. And the recipe does say to store this, your leftovers if you have any leftovers, in the refrigerator. So when you cut your bars, I would put them in, just a airtight container and stuff. So it really comes out very nice here. So.
Well, this is, and just adding a little bit of whipped cream to this too would be good. Taking away probably from the healthiness,
but making it, you can use fat-free or light Cool Whip or whatever. But
Sure.
And like I said, we did show this. I do want this just to set a little bit, so we won't actually cut, but it's, just showing that I had it for about 42 minutes in there.
Okay.
And stuff.
And probably before you cut it, let it stand 5 to 10 minutes before you cut into it.
I would.
Just to make sure it's set up.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
To get these recipes, just go to Consolidated's website, www.ctctel.com. Please submit your recipes for Mom to cook for you, the viewers. As always, thank you to the Workshop for being our sponsor. Thank you so much, and join us again when we do it all over on Cooking Crave.